Left. I mean, we pretty much told him yesterday that nomination day would be on the 18th of August and election day on the 3rd of September. It's probably the first time in the history of the country that the opposition actually called the election. He was just out of time. The Prime Minister knows that he's afraid to approach the people, and so he waited because he couldn't find a window. We have prepared ourselves and we are ready. The leader is here, he has gone out there and done the work, and we are just excited to get on the ground, and over the next couple of weeks we'll do what we need to do to ensure that when we come back here there will be a much larger crowd and we'll be celebrating.
I'm going to bring you in the party president. I'm not a little while, but let me ask you in about 30 seconds. The People's National Party, they've had some momentum coming out of the local government elections, but that is sort of like a stamina run. It's a bit the marathon part of this campaign. In another 2 or 3 weeks, it's a sprint. What are you going to do to ensure that you don't pull up and fall before the finish line?
Well, any athlete will tell you that proper training will prevent that. We have done the preparatory work and we have gone out there. The level of organization in the party now is at an extent that it hasn't been in a long time. With the canvassing, the workers, the training and all of those things. We've just been waiting on this moment. We've already done all our schedule to lead up to the 3rd. The constituencies have been notified for this week when the leader is coming. We know when we're launching our manifesto. All of that has been done. There is absolutely no surprise in this to us. The only thing that was thrown off was our meeting, which we will have on Saturday night. So we are fully ready and equipped to go, and we will deliver a victory for the people of Jamaica because they do deserve better.
Thank you, Dr. David Campbell. Obviously, we're pressed for time. Sure. Thank you so much for joining us here on TVJ. Firstly, quickly, what is your reaction? How are you reading this date? Is it a strategy from the Prime Minister, or is this a man who was cornered and really had very few options?
Well, I think he had to call it now because he painted himself into a corner. So much so that the General Secretary was able to accurately say last night that nomination day would be on the 18th and the election would be on the 3rd of September. That's unprecedented, where an opposition General Secretary is able to say accurately what the date would be. And it's because he had no options really. And had he been in a position to confidently move forward into an election, he would have called it long ago. But we are ready, we are prepared, we have done the work, our party is united and strong. We've used the last few months to further refine our message of hope for the Jamaican people. The policies and programs that we are putting forward are relevant and tackle some of the deep-seated issues that face this nation and we have to confront and get over if we are to take Jamaica to the next level. So we are very pleased that finally the election is coming and we know the date and we're ready to roll. Our party is united, well organized. We've done a lot of work strengthening the organization of the party. I've been on the road all over the country. The people have taken very well to me and I'm looking forward to running through the tape and forming the next government so we can get the work of the people going. And that is what's going to happen.
The Prime Minister used a portion of his address this evening to the Jamaican people to go through some of his plans. You told us that you're going to put out your party's manifesto about Tuesday this week, but just give us the biggest one you can find from the manifesto coming up that you want to put to the Jamaican people this evening. One big thing out of that is a plan or promise from the People's National Party.
No, I'm not going to be going into that. You'll hear what we have to say in our manifesto on Tuesday when we launch it. And, you know, it covers a lot of different grounds, some major items and other items of importance as well. And we've been, for the last several months, developing some of the key points that we want to get across, coming out of the budget debate, actually. Issues around housing, issues around land, issues around education, and tackling some of the real challenges that the people are facing when it comes to those things. The health sector, we have some strong policies for, and of course, governance and the whole question of having a government in which the people can have trust and confidence. We are going into an election with a Prime Minister whose statutory declarations for the Integrity Commission are not certified, who's under investigation for the crime of illicit enrichment. That is unprecedented, unheard of in any democracy around the world, and Jamaican people must judge that when they come to make their decision as to who they think can take this country forward.
Thank you so much, Mark Golding, PNP President, and Dr. David Campbell before him for joining us. As I explained a short while ago, we are
comfortable. The Prime Minister is our leader, and we have been preparing, and he has guided that process very well, and we're ready. You saw the energy tonight, the numbers and the energy. And when he said those dates, you saw the response. I think the Jamaica Labour Party as an organization is ready. We have great candidates and we have a great platform to campaign on.
When will the JLP be releasing the manifesto?
Well, we have to take it in stages. We released an achievements document. We have been in office for 9+ years, and I think it's important for us to remind and demonstrate that we have been there with a purpose and that people are better off because of that. Once we get that through the population, and that is a work in progress, we will then release the manifesto, which is the aspirational document for where we will go. I can't say this week or next, but it certainly will be released before the time and discussions around it take place.
Can you say how many seats the JLP is predicting for this election?
Well, look at it this way. All 63 seats are up for grabs in this competitive.
But you must be working towards a number, Dr. Tom.
Well, we intend to win the majority of the seats, and all candidates that we have and are fielding qualified to be a member of parliament, and we're going to work with all of them. But ultimately, we know that it's a competitive process, and what is important is that we remain in government, so we continue the work of the party and the government.
In recent times, we've been seeing a lot of ribbon cutting and groundbreaking. Is this just a mere formality? How ready are those projects?
It's interesting that people are critical of ribbon cuttings and groundbreaking. I thought those were positive things. Nothing that we have done around those two types of activities that do not represent progress and benefit the people of Jamaica.
It's been amplified leading up to the election, though.
Not necessarily. I think it has been made so by those who are critical and who have a reason to be critical. Take the University Hospital of the West Indies, for example, which we broke ground for recently. 14 billion. It started 8 years ago because it went through a process. Spanish Town Hospital started many years ago. So a lot of what we have labored hard to do as a government have been coming through over time. And I think it is well within our right, particularly in a competitive environment, to show the progress that we are making. The others would have done the same thing. I think they are just upset that we're doing it, and it's showing them up, because when they were there were so many gaps in cutting ribbons. We have had to be cutting more than usual to play catch up in the development of the country.
Dr. Tufton, the non-certification of the Prime Minister's statutory declarations continue to be a hot button topic on the campaign trail. What discussions have the hierarchy of the JLP had on the issue?
Well, look at it this way. We have discussions all the time on a range of issues. As it relates to the Prime Minister's own issues with the IC, I think he is well within his right to exercise the option of challenging some of the conclusions that have been drawn. I believe all of us have that right. It's a right that we have fought for as a people, whether you're on one side or the other. And I think we must allow that process to take its course. He has major issues with some of the conclusions or the findings, and he, like every Jamaican, deserves the opportunity to make his point and to use the courts if necessary. So we don't have an issue with it. In fact, we don't think the Jamaican people are as bothered with that as our detractors, our opponents are. We believe that the Jamaican people are about water, it's about roads, it's about jobs, it's about poverty reduction, and those are the things that we have done well in. And the Prime Minister has been the leader of that process as head of the cabinet. So we believe people see a lot more positive in Andrew Holness than by the distractions of some of the other things, which may be necessary to ventilate. We're not saying that, I'm not saying that, but I think he is entitled to due course just like anyone else.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Christopher Tufton.